طيب let's start. Please, if you have a question, stop me. Unit 4 start from Unit 4 start from page 54. Unit 4 starts from page 54. Okay, if you have a question, write in the chat. Turn on your mic, whatever suits you. Okay, so as we used to, you're going to learn the meaning of the vocabulary. I'm going to give you the sentences, but they might not be the same as in the book. يعني لما نذاكر الفوكابلري دائما اعرفي معناه، هذا مطلوب منك. غير مطلوب منك مثلا تعرفين الجملة هذه بالضبط، لا اقرأيها طبعا، اعرفي كيف الكلمة اخترناها في الجملة، لكن in the exam تكون الجمل مختلفة، نفس الكلمات لكن الجمل مختلفة. Okay, so please make sure that you understand the meaning of the word. طيب, and then we have the first grammar that we had, which is both and, not only but, also, either or neither nor. طيب, let's have a long discussion trying to remember this grammar. طيب, if the revision was too quick or something, you have the lesson في مدرستي في بيتي، فممكن ترجعي له مرة أخرى. But we're going to revise it now. لكن لو أردتي إنك ترجعي له بهدوء وتتذكري الدرس very well, you can watch the lesson في وقت الدرس نفسه في مدرستي في بيتي. Just a minute now. Okay. طيب, starting from the first one, which was what? Both and. برضو هذا الجرامر يا ثالث يعني حله يعتمد كثير على المعنى. يعني معنى الجملة هو سيكون فراغ. طيب, لكن معنى الجملة يعني لازم تعرفيه. طب كيف يأتي هذا السؤال في الاختبار؟ ممكن يكون مقالي، ممكن، ليس أكيد، ممكن. Okay, so the first one was both and. How we're going to use it in a sentence? Like, for example, I'm going to say, just a minute. So the first one is both and. بنعرف نحن معنى both and when I'm going to mention two things, and those two things they share the same thing. أي شيء, but they are sharing it, or they are common in this thing. So for example, I can say both, let's say both my sister مثلا and, you see, both and class موجودة, so both my sister and my brother both my sister and my brother are similar in their personality. I need to pay attention طيب in one thing here. When you mention both and, الفراغ ما بعد both تذكرين به الشيء الأول، ما هو شيئان، بما أنه معنى both يعني شيئان. both في الفراغ الأول بعدها الذي هو هنا تذكري الشيء واحد فقط. So both my friend and I. Okay, يعني my friend and I, both my sister and my brother, both this movie and the other movie. طيب ما أذكر both في نفس الفراغ، أذكر الشيئين مع بعض، لازم بعد and. أوكي طيب الفعل ما بعدهم مهم جدا جدا تركزي فيه. واحدة من الأسئلة اللي ممكن تكون اختياري. Both my sister and my brother are similar in their personality. are هنا يعني أن الفعل جمع، أو أن الفعل في ال present simple يكون من دون s. لماذا؟ لأنه أعامل sister and my brother. two things. نحن نعرف خلاص مسبقا إنه two things in English يعني plural. So the verb should be what in a plural form. يعني لو مثلا ممكن أقول لو نفس الجملة both my sister and my brother، ممكن تكتبي هذا الشيء في الكتاب عندك إنه both and لازم الفعل يكون plural form. طيب so both my sister and my brother eat the pie. ممكن في الاختبار يكون ممكن في الاختبار الفعل هذا يكون so you're going to choose both my sister and my brother. A eats, B eat, and C maybe is eating. So خلاص both and عرفتي إنه هذه الجرامر is about both and then you have my sister and my brother. خلاص مباشرة تختارين eat. ها clear ثالث؟ You have a question? If you have, write in the chat or tell me.
Yes, clear.
الحمد لله. Okay. طيب. Then we have, check what do we have next. Then we have not only but also. نفس الشيء هنا. I mentioned that this thing has maybe two adjectives or maybe have two things. So I'm going to use not only but also. يعني معناها حرفيا يعني معناها إنه ليس فقط هذا الشيء، هذا شيء وكمان شيء آخر. عرفنا المعنى؟ لازم نفهم المعنى حتى نعرف نستخدمه في الجملة لو كان السؤال مقالي. So I will use not only if I'm going to mention two things, two adjectives. Just a minute. So I will say not only but also. Okay. طيب. Now, for example, let's say you're going to describe your friend. So is change the color. Is not only let's say smart, but also what? Polite. Can you see? Now in this sentence you understand that this person has two adjectives, which are smart and also polite. Okay? I think this is easy, more easy than both and. Okay, he is, for example, in the book you have, he is not only hardworking but also intelligent. طيب? So, clear ثالث? You know how to use it in a sentence?
Yes.
Okay, good. Okay. Right. Now let's move on to, we have either or. Now either and or, you understand from before that it means you have two options. Okay, so for example, I would say, if you have a sentence, please help me. Either or, I would say, for example, I ran out of sentences. Or
Teacher, can I answer? But
have a sentence,
I don't.
Rimas?
Yes, but I don't sure if sentence is right.
Yes, it's okay. Yes, yes, please.
Um, I like not only.
You have a sentence with not only?
Yes.
Okay, so let's write it here. Like, yalla, give me your sentence, please.
Um, I like not only strawberries but also banana.
I like not only strawberries, but also bananas. Very good. Thank you, Rimas. I like not only strawberries, but also bananas. Very good. So that means if you have the question in the exam as an essay question, you can answer that. Very good. Thank you, Rimas.
I have an example.
For what? Which one?
Either or.
Yes, please.
You can either stay here or go home.
You can either, very nice sentence, stay here or go home. Thank you. Very good, Yaragad. So it's all about the meaning of the sentence. In all of those, you're going to mention two things. Okay, not only but also both and either or. But the thing is, you have to understand the sentence, the thing that you have in the sentence in order to choose. Do you have to put either or do you have to put not only but also? Okay, either or means that you have two options. Not only but also, it means that not one thing but also another thing. So it has two things. And both and, you know that it means two things. And the last thing is neither nor, which means in the negative side. Oh, neither. Okay, right here. Neither nor. So when I want to say that this thing does not have two things, for example, كأني سأنفي الصفة عن شيئين. So I would say, for example, um, hmm, he did not neither.
Need help?
Yes, Ragad, do you have an example? Yes, please.
Neither my sister
Neither my sister
nor my brother
uh-huh,
listens
listen uh-huh.
to the radio every day.
Now you remind me of something. Very good. Thank you, Ragad. To the radio every day. We remember here, Salis, that in both and we said that the verb should be in a plural form because I'm mentioning two things, my sister and my brother, or my friend and my other friend. So they are two things. That's why I'm going to use what? A plural form of the verb. But in neither and nor, if you remember, so here, plural form of the verb. You can write this down in your book in order not to forget that tomorrow in your exam. But in neither and nor, I'm going to choose the form of the verb according to the noun that I have before it. Remember when we said that if it was my brother, I'm going to say listens, which is present simple form to the what? Of the singular. Okay, if it was my brothers, this is one of the questions that you might have. If it was my brothers, write it correct, then you're going to remove the s and write the verb as a plural form. Do you remember that? Again, in both and, the verb I'm going to use in a plural form. Both my sister and my brother want, for example, want to study abroad, for example. Okay, so this is a plural form in the present symbol of the plural. Okay, but in neither and nor, no, I have to use the verb not in a plural form or a singular form, but according to the noun that I have before it. Do I have my brother, one, singular? Then I'm going to say listens or is listening according to the sentence that I have. If I have my brothers, then I'm going to have what? The plural form, whether it's listen or are listening. Okay, did we understand that?
So when do we actually like put the S? Like when? When we see
If
what?
you have here, do you see Ragad? Here we have
Yes.
my brother in your example. You said my brother, neither
So
my sister
singular, right?
nor my brother. So it's singular, my brother, right?
Yes.
Uh-huh. That's why we said listens.
Listen. Yeah.
Listens is the singular form in the present symbol. Clear?
I got it. Yes.
Okay, good. Right. Um, now we have, just a minute. We stopped too many times here. And then we have the independent clauses with and, but, or, so, and yet. Again, it depends also on the what, on the meaning of the sentence. Just remember one thing, whenever you have to use a comma, please pay attention to use it in the right place. Okay? Yet is almost the same meaning as but. So as a result of something, and when I want to say two things or add two things, you know that, and or also if you have two options. Okay? You have any question about that?
No.
Okay. Okay, then we have, don't forget here those boxes that we have in the conversation, the meaning of the phrases or the meaning of words. Just really very doze off, fall asleep. You have to understand their meaning and you have to know how you're going to put them in a sentence, how they are going to come in a sentence. As I told you before, you have your internet, you have your phone, just search for example, write doze off in a sentence. Write that in Google and then you will find what? The meaning, you will find how they are going to use doze off in a sentence, for example. Okay. The vocabulary building, you're not supposed to memorize the meaning of the vocabulary. No, you're supposed to know the meaning of them. You're supposed to know how they are going to be in a sentence. لازم نعرف, for example, ironically, how it's going to be, phenomenal, how it's going to be in a sentence. Okay?
Okay.
If you would like, tomorrow before our exam, I can also complete the, or I can, we can have some time in order if you have some questions or something. Like, the writing is not with us. Then we have comparative and superlative form of the adjectives. I think you are very familiar with that, and we explain it very well. We have 3 minutes left. Just remember, Thalith, that whenever I'm going to use the comparative form, I have to pay attention to two things, to the adjective actually that I'm going to use. ممكن هذا يكون essay question وممكن يكون multiple choice question. So in the comparative form دائما أو superlative form دائما المحك بيننا هو ماذا الadjective. If the adjective was short or long. In the comparative form, if the adjective was short, what you're going to use? So for example, if I have the adjective cheap, so in the comparative form, cheap is going to be. You can write that down in the chat, yeah, يا ثالث. So what is the comparative form of cheap? Hmm? ثالث.
Cheaper.
Yes, cheaper. Thank you. Okay. What about the superlative form? The superlative form of the adjective cheap. I'm going to say that this thing is.
cheapest.
Thank you, Rahaf. The cheapest. Very good. So, est and the. But if the adjective was long, and like this, if the adjective was long, like expensive, we're going to use cheap, then we're going to use expensive. Okay? And in the comparative form, it's going to be.
You
I'm
mean
going to compare between two things using expensive. Am I going? Yes, thank you. More expensive. I cannot add in a long adjective. I cannot add er. So I'm going to say more expensive. Okay. Like in the superlative form, I'm going to say that this thing is.
very expensive?
Say it again, please.
Very expensive.
Yes, but it's a very expensive, but we might have something.
Most.
Yes, the most expensive. So I'm going to add the most. Not going to add est. Okay. The common thing between superlative form in a short and in a long adjective is that you have to add the before you mention the adjective. Okay. Right. We don't have time. I think we have to stop here. Tomorrow, inshallah, we're going to complete. If you have a question, please ask me. Until now, do you have a question?
No,
No,
thank you.
thank you.
Okay, you're welcome. Just let me take the attendance and then you're free to go. Okay.
Teacher, my class starts. Can I leave?
Raneem, yes, you can go.
شكرا.
Bayadir is here. Jude? Are you here, Jude? Is absent. Dana? Is absent. Ragad is here. Rafif? Are you here, Rafif? Rafif is absent. Rimas is here. Rahaf is here. Rima. Sarah? You're late, yeah, Sarah. Can you please tell me your reason? Privately.
دخلت الساعة 9:08.
Okay. So Sarah is here. Sadine, are you here, Sadine?
Yes.
Okay. Shafiqa, are you here, Shafiqa? Is absent. Shahad? Shahad, are you here? Is absent. Ghadi?
Yes.
Okay. Farah?
نعم.
Maria?
نعم.
Najia?
نعم.
Raneem. Okay. Any more? Okay, so we're done. Please, if you have a question, I'm waiting for your questions privately if you want to ask or in your group. It's okay. Okay?
Okay.
Okay, so bye-bye. Have a nice day.
You too.